Alright, keep on binding.
Come on, setbacks.
Dig it.
Keep going.
Yeah, let's go.
14 Balvini, the trees premium. Garsha Vega blunts and mid, we was steaming them. Gotta thank God for the push.
It's like seeing wolves jump through rings of fire to get to the rings on the other side of Maya. Stuck in the mire, sun won't let you escape out this fryer.
Yeah, shit that I hear that I want to put in. I'm after making choices, limited choices.
Like, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You know, but I feel like in ways it makes you more creative. So I still tend to try to work within. I give myself limitations. You know what I'm saying? Versus just using all the options available. You know, somebody else is bound to feel it. You know what I mean? And if you got decent taste in music and you make something you like, somebody else is gonna like it.
Yeah.
So people, kind of limit themselves when they say, I gotta make this type of, I don't worry about this type of record, none of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just make music, bro.
Yeah.
And then after I make a flurry of shit, that's when I worry about how I can categorize or how I can, who is more fit for it. Unless somebody commissioned me specifically, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I got somebody, okay, so-and-so needs some tracks, and I get in there, you know what I mean? But even still, I'm not looking at, we gotta make this type of record.
For this
We gotta make
group,
this type of record. But I can do whatever. Somebody asks me, I need a record for this type of scenario, I can do it. You know what I mean? And I prefer to do shit that's custom to, you know what I mean? In that sense, like when the artist got a vision in mind for what they're trying to do, I love to bring that vision to life.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what it's all about.
I don't try to, a lot of people have one way of doing things and they try to make you fit what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's production, engineering, whatever, I'm trying to bring out the best of the artist. So whatever approach works best for them, I enhance that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say, no, you got, like some people, man, you can't punch in, man, look, the end result is what matters. The finished record is what matters. You know what I'm saying?
That's the point.
So I'm not gonna try to force people that might not be able to get their whole verse off in a couple of breaths to try to, do it 100 times till they get it off in one take.
Yeah.
Man, go ahead and try to punch that bitch in. If you got lines that need to overlap, I mean, look, Slick Rick, he overlapped a lot of his shit. He was one of the first rappers that really be overdubbing and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And he overdubbed the fuck out of his joints. He line for line. He probably, I don't know if he left gaps between or I doubt that he just did it one line at a time. So he probably left gaps and he knew he was gonna fill in. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but that's big, bro. That's what I wanted to do this for, because the beat, the track, that shit is what makes the MC do what he do.
Yeah.
Like that shit take you to another level.
Right.
To make you like bring out the best in you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's the main reason why I wanted to start this segment and take it further beyond the MC.
Right.
Beyond, you know what I'm saying, the platforms of who's the hottest rapper and the best and this and that. Yeah. Let's go a little deeper. Let's go to the behind the scenes. Let's go here. Yeah. Where it started. Because you gotta be on some other shit to put tracks together. Like that's a whole nother level of creativity. Yeah. Whole nother level.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Dwayne Brandon. Yep. So me and Dwayne was in art class at John Marshall, and I used to come to school. My big ass headphones. Them bitches was like 2 boombox speakers. Big ass DJ headphones.
Go ahead, man.
I had my and I used to make my little mixes, and be scratching and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I used to stay walking down the hall with my shit blasting. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't weird or none of that shit. You know what I mean? That's just my thing. You know what I mean? And I'd be in art class with Brandon. And he was fucking with that shit, and he told me rap, and like word. And one day he brought a tape in with him and Amir on the jump. Okay. And that jump was sweet. Like him, they had the beats was cool too. The dude Nathaniel, nigga named Nathaniel.
Yeah, when they had the Bronco.
Yeah. So the beats were cool, and they asked me to put some scratching on the song. They had a song called The Whole Nine. I remember that the first time I laid something on a multi-track.
Hold on, Wayne was rapping on the jump.
Dwayne was rapping.
Go ahead, man.
Dwayne was nasty, nigga. Dwayne was the lyricist, for real. Amir had the style.
Yeah.
But Dwayne had bars. Like this Dwayne, but he just, his delivery won't as, you know what I'm saying? Like Amir had that delivery, like back then.
The whole cadence and all that.
You know what I'm saying? But Dwayne had bars, but he kind of, like me, he kind of like, I ain't gonna call it mumbling, but it wasn't as,
I got you. It was fluent.
Fluent as like Amir shit. That nigga definitely had bars. Like he was a lot of people's favorite rapper in the group, the Solar Brotherhood. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
The Solar Brotherhood. Me, Dwayne, Amir, and Nathaniel. You know what I'm saying? That was the foundation of this organized union. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Shawnee Pooh and Wiley, all of them, you know what I'm saying? They was junior villains. That was Amir's little brother in them crew. But it was like, at the time, Amir and them was the one doing the multi-track shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, niggas got, Shawnee Pooh and them hadn't recorded nothing for real yet. They were writing songs. They were performing with Yap. Remember that shit? Yeah, they were performing with Yap. My brother was joking back then. Nigga Skills put my brother in his first rap when he went to New York. Cause that nigga, my brother had some bars. Yeah, you know, he straight off the dome.
Yeah.
But he won't know straight off the dome battle rap, nigga. He telling stories. Off the head, whatever happened that day. You know, I'm talking about intricate stories, like bar for bar. Sound like a nigga would have sat there and spent a lot of time writing some shit like that. But that shit just used to spill out. Anytime he spit, bro, I could put on 5 beats and this nigga spit a song to each one of them. Yeah. Like he spit songs off the head, bro. You know what I mean? Like I wish I could get him back wanting to do that shit like that, but he don't want to do it. He'll dabble, but he like, I can't get into it like that. And he it's good, but he just ain't into it. He just ain't into it like he was.
I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? But he definitely, if he wanted to do it, it's there. You know what I mean? It's just, he like, man, I ain't get into it like that. But I be like, man, this shit was dope. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like we just say, that shit don't go nowhere, bro. So was you making, when you and Nathaniel and Ahmed and Wayne got together, you started making the tracks?
I was making tracks then, but that was one thing that me and Nathaniel, like, he wanted me to just give him my ideas and let him do it. You know what I'm saying? I was doing shit at home, pause mixing and stuff like that. Yeah. Or Andre Christian, Dre that used to work at the phono booth. I give my ideas to him and he'll go to this dude named Bohouse. He was making beats back then. You know what I'm saying? He was making them on the on the SP12, I want to say. Bo had, some professional equipment over there. Like all the shit I was doing prior to that was just me mixing the beats together, recording from one tape to another. I have, you know what I'm saying? I have a tape deck set up. And I'm playing a song and cutting up a break beat over it. Like, so one of the first jumps that me and my brother had was cutting up synthetic substitution over the Marvin Gaye sexual healing instrument. So with the that drum was
that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And then he'll put his vocals on there, and then I go play that tape back and put another pass and put some scratching for the hook. That's how we did our first demo. And them drums were dope like that, but the sound quality degrade as you go from tape to tape each time. You know what I'm saying? And some, depending on the tape, the tuning of the tape deck too, it might the pitch might change. You know what I mean? Might go faster or slower.
So SP12 was before MPC.
Yeah, the SP12. That's what. And matter of fact, I used to go over to El Bravo's house. He let me fuck with his SP. He had SP12 at his house. You know what I'm saying? That's the first time I ever even seen one in person over at El Bravo's crib. But
that's crazy.
That's what he did. The hickeys on the neck for Milk D and them. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that on the SP, on the same SP12. You know what I'm saying?
What? Oh, he made that track.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
niggas don't know. El Bravo, he was with First Priority Records. You know what I'm saying? He made tracks for Milk D and Lightning.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, bro. I found it out when I was, in my late teens.
Yeah.
But, so I always look at him, as a mentor, even though he didn't really have to sit there and teach me step by step, but just by him being who he is. I grew up hearing him on the radio. Yep. The first time I ever heard somebody freestyle on the air, I heard Freak D live on the air spitting some shit. I'm like, damn, this nigga talking about some shit. He from round the way. He said some shit that let me know this nigga from round the way. That shit just made, oh, this shit is real.
Yeah.
Like it's really a way to get our shit heard out here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That gave people something to aspire to back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the phono booth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all that.
You used to hit the phono booth every day, bro.
Yeah.
Every day after school. You know what I mean? I look at Adi like an uncle to me. You know what I mean? Adi definitely just being there, having that store. You know, he kept a lot of things going for the music community.
Definitely.
And a brother like me, that stuff definitely kept me out of trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause like I go home, man, I get them straight on the turntable. By the time niggas on the bus with me, walking past the house, I got my speaker on, cutting that shit up. Yeah, we turned that joint into a block party after school. You know
what turntables you had?
Man,
First one.
Bullshit turntables. Some old, just regular 2 component sets at first. So I put them next to each other and was mixing. Then I had one with the jank. You got the phono button in the middle of the tape here, and it actually let you hear both. But it was like, okay, like I could goddamn, you know how DJ Aladdin used the switch to transform and shit? I could do that because it was just a switch, a button, that if you press 2 at a time, you can hear both.
Okay.
So I could cut over the radio or over the tape by just pushing the phono button while I'm holding down the tape button.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean? I record that onto another tape because it had a output on it that I could run into my RCA jacks on my tape deck.
But how you knew that though? You just fucking around and found out?
Yeah.
Most motherfuckers ain't know that.
Yeah, I saw my uncle G scratching when I was like 7, and that just interested me in that shit.
Yeah.
And since then I had been dabbling with the shit. My mom told me I used to scratch on the C and say jump before then.
Go ahead, man.
You know the A.
Yeah.
I remember scratching on, but I ain't remember way back then. But I know they don't have like a little phonograph in it. You can scratch with the jump. So I always been interested in that. I used to fuck with my zipper on my shirt like that.
It was just rhythm.
That scratching rhythm, that back. You know what I'm saying? I always had an interest in that particular type of sound manipulation, and then once I got into just making beats, it was just, you know, I was trying to turn beats out of that. And I had a drum machine. I had several drum machines, but I think the first one with the little bullshit 4-pad Yamaha jump, but the sound just was terrible in that jump, like the hi-hats.
Yeah. Sound like a Casio.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The snare was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't really, we could make up ideas with it, but that shit was laughable on the real song, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but definitely it had the goddamn note repeat button on the door. So you could go, quarter note, eighth note.
Oh, so you made the
Manny Fresh type shit.
Okay.
It had that type shit on. You can do them little rolls and shit with just holding the button down. So we did use it for stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know. And then my dude Sean Lightfoot, he used to live around the street from the phono booth. Yeah. He down there in Tampa now, but Sean had an EPS 16 plus at his house. And he let me come over there and fuck with it until I taught myself pretty much, you know what I mean?
So that was a step up from the SP.
That was a keyboard based joint. That was like, if you know what the ASR-10 is,
right?
That was the predecessor to the ASR-10.
Okay.
The same format. The disc is upward compatible. Like I could take a beat I made on the EPS and load it on the ASR. And like I used to do that all the time. Martinez had the ASR over there. So I could take the beats I made at home, I go over there to Martinez. That was actually my first job in the studio as an engineer and a producer.
Kick him to the curb.
Kick him to the curb, yep. Gave me my first job in the business outside of DJing, you know what I mean? Because I was DJing, but Sir RJ put me on the club scene, you know what I'm saying? He gave me my first club gig when I was 17 at the Polo Bay, you know what I mean?
Polo Bay.
Yeah.
Come on, boy, you bring back some shit.
So,
nostalgia, boy.
Yeah, like that plaza right there is
that's just the jump.
An important place, man.
Yeah,
you know, that's really a historical place to me. Like that whole plaza, even though they got a beauty salon at one end and the laundromat at the other, all I see is the Polo Bay Lounge and the Phono Booth record store.
Yep.
That's what I see. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it is what it is. That shit will always be legendary for that. Cause that's really like the nucleus of a lot of this shit, especially from my generation on. And you know, Ed Bravo and them were doing their thing before that. And then he was right up the street from there.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, some of the brothers he was working with on the west end and south side, you had other stores that was down with the scene, like Angie's Records. I don't know who would have record stores in the west end back then, but I remember I used to go to Angie's back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Used to go to Phono Booth. It was a store called Top 40 on Brooklyn Park Boulevard.
Yeah.
The dude named Scotty used to own that junk. That was when I bought my first records.
Uh-huh.
And then you had Outer Limits at the other end later on. You had the jank across the street from where Top 40 used to be at. There was New York Styles, but there was also Now There had a record store there later on. I forget what he called that record store, but that was, I don't know if y'all remember that was a record store right there.
I don't remember that one.
You know Now There?
I heard it.
Now There had that junk though, but he had a record store right there. Artie was associated. I seen Artie come through there a couple of times, but I think it was because Artie got with the One Stop, you know.
Okay.
He was in charge of the One Stop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? People don't understand how important the One Stop used to be to the scene either. You know what I mean? Because that was where all the stores got their inventory, especially the mom and pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you could get your shit, in
was
there or get
right
somebody
on, what was that? That was on
Chamberlain.
Yep.
Right there on Chamberlain Avenue.
And what's the other joint that was off of Brook Road? The Album Den.
Yeah.
Album Den joint.
Yeah,
I remember that. My dad used to go in that joint all the time.
Yeah.
And I always remember the smell of incense.
Nah.
It was strong. I always remember that.
Yeah.
Walking in there, the nostalgia of that, bro, it's just crazy, man. So there's a lot of history, there's a lot of childhood memories, a lot of stuff that built this city.
Yeah. And mom and pop's businesses was a big part of it. Like that's the reason why, to me, that's the main difference I see in the scene, in the culture of the scene in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we don't have those stores no more. We don't have those mom and pop businesses that support the scene.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got people that are tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have record stores that'll let niggas come in. I mean, not record stores, clubs. To let people come and do their thing. But if you're not talking about selling shit that's gonna sell alcohol and, you know what I'm saying, just like a certain type of lifestyle, there is not really room for it on the club scene.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But music is much more diverse than just what's for the club. You know what I'm saying? There's all types of lifestyle things that go on that don't have nothing to do with the club or splurging money on any type of commercialism in general. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But ever since rappers started getting, really ever since Run DMC had their success with My Adidas, niggas been chasing some type of commercial opportunity, sponsorship type of situation.
That's true.
And it's kind of bought the message. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, niggas are saying what their sponsors want them to say. Or they trying to say something and then find a sponsor that aligns with their purpose.
Right.
That's where you really got to be with it nowadays if you're talking about on some trying to commercialize it in a way. Mm-hmm. But it's better when it's organic. It's something that you really about still. Yeah. You know, if that brand can represent something that's integral to your lifestyle. Right. Versus you just taking the contract from this brand that sees you as valuable. Being a public but they want to change you. They want to use their value to represent what they got, and it might not be a good fit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But people don't look at that. They be their eyes so green. Yeah. You know, they like, damn, I got this thing, and then it doesn't work out because it doesn't align with their value. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that happens all the time. People get deals, record deals, all type of things, but the people's values don't align, and what they're trying to get you to do don't fit, and all of that. You know what I mean? But see, if we still had mom and pop stores, more people would be taking that independent route naturally. They wouldn't be feeling like it was such an uphill battle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they nurtured their culture, you know what I mean? Like you could drop your record and have an in-store meet and greet at the phone booth. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even though Willis was Italian, but you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's not a mom and pop per se, but you know, that was another store that allowed the culture, local music, us to come in, you know what I'm saying, or consignment with independent artists and stuff like that.
They had a lot of artists come through. Yeah. Come through
I mean, people don't understand how important it is to have, to be able to do business, to have, you know, consignment situations and stuff like that with mom and pops. If we don't have mom and pops, well, we're in the business that'll do that and allow you give you shelf space And for a cut of what you making off it, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
You know, Walmart ain't gonna do that for you. You know what I mean? None of them big companies, they don't care about that stuff.
Right.
And they don't have people in their music section that's knowledgeable about music. It's not a criteria. You know what I'm saying? But when you went to that mom and pop store, this person in that joint that was talking music, they shit that shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Take you right to what you're looking for.
Yeah, they know, and they getting, you know, it was just way healthy. I mean, you know, better for the culture in general.
Right.
It was just, you know what I'm saying, like the appreciation of music from the person selling it to you and knowing your taste. You know you're gonna get something that's satisfied to your taste. Mm-hmm. You're gonna keep coming back. It was, you know, it's just the profit margin thing. The big corporate stores and chains came and pushed them out the market. Yeah. Because they couldn't afford to compete. And that's just a bad thing, man. Again, you know, it's all about who can sell the shit the cheapest. I mean, who can acquire it for the cheapest. Yeah. And of course, if they can acquire it cheaper, they can sell it cheaper. But it's not giving nothing to the culture. Yeah. You know, when Walmart and them came out here and put these music sections in their shit, where they got most of the popular shit that you would have went to the regular store looking for, so many people just overlooked the mom and pop. Yeah.
Tower Records,
Records. You know what I'm saying? And the mom and pops, they putting their own money up, paying their rent and stuff. Like, they don't have some big corporation that can afford to go in the hole for a year or two without even thinking about turning a profit. You know, it's like what Uber did to the cab business. Right. And they had all these billions. They got billions of dollars in investment. They could afford to lose money for several years until they pushed the cabs out of business. Mm-hmm. And then they just now their prices increase. You know what I'm saying? Once they eliminated their competition. You know, and that's the bad thing about it, because like I know for me, like in mom and pops, we don't do that the way, in general, independent businesses, we don't price gouge like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? We try to be fair with our people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's the mission from the beginning. Right. That's why you started, because you saw a need that could serve your community, or your kids, or your family. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
Yeah. But it's hard to end. It's like, you know, when people know you personally, it's like, damn, I know I need more for this shit, but how do I tell them I got to start charging them twice as much? Because I mean, they know shit costs twice as much, but it's like with music, I think that's overall that helped devalue the services on the whole, across the board. Like, there's major studios I used to go to back in the day. They're not around no more. Places where a lot of classic albums are done. Right. But these places were charging $300-$400 an hour. Ain't nobody paying that. Right. You know what I'm saying? $150 an hour even. A lot of people, it became a period of time where people wasn't going to pay that. Yeah. Now we're getting back to a time where the value is being appreciated. Mm-hmm. So people are willing to spend a little more, but maybe not $300-$400 an hour. Yeah. But they $150, they'll pay that. You know what I mean? And you know, people that are looking for quality over quantity, because you just have different type of customers. Right. And you know, like, you got different type of listeners, and that's why the market dynamics got to change. We have to present it in a way where that value proposition is there, due to the rarity. We got to make certain things scarce or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what their market dynamics is based on, supply and demand. Right. So the more you got of it, the less it's going to be worth it just by default.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? The more you got that people can readily get, you know what I'm saying? So we got to make it harder to get, you know, unfortunately. Right. But that's how we retain the value for it. You know what I mean?
So how did you stay organic, bro? How did you stay organic? I know it's who you are. Yeah. But with all this shit going on around you, you still stayed Diallo. You still, the sound and everything, it grew, but it's all still organic. Like when I heard that track when we was walking in, I was like, ooh, that shit crazy. Yeah. But it's you. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, it's just, I have a certain space that I try to, you know what I mean, like build around. You know what I mean? Right. It's a lot. It's not just for me. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm representing Lil Bar. I'm representing, you know what I'm saying, Cal Pacino. I'm representing all my niggas that's not here no more, that was a part of it. You know what I mean? And so I'm gonna always keep certain elements there, but I'm gonna expand. You know, I'm always incorporate like me, I appreciate every new development.
Right.
That's one thing about it, and I still find joy in exploring those avenues, but bringing it back home in a way that I could put my spin on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could put my touch on it. You know what I mean? So it just, it's just music is so diverse, bro.
Yeah.
And we can, it's just making my version of whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, and the more I get to explore different cultures and work with people of different cultures and backgrounds or age groups,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It just keeps that joy in there, you know what I mean? Or keeps it something the way I know I'm learning still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still growing. It's really just the passion to grow. You know what I'm saying? To continue to, you know what I'm saying? To hone something that was already good and make it better. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it is. Just how can I do better than I did yesterday with what I was doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get into looking at what people, man, I gotta outdo this nigga, whatever. Oh man, they did something, man. Everything anybody did is dope. I enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
I don't look at nobody as no threat. I ain't, you know what I'm saying,
Just
like whatever. But if I wanted to be cocky, I could say niggas can't fuck with me with this shit.
Right.
But I ain't, it is what it is, man. I mean, I can go anywhere anybody want to go with this shit, but I'm gonna do it in my way. And it's gonna be still, what it is. But I ain't, I appreciate other people. I like working with other people. You know what I'm saying? So, and you can't be an island, like what I'm gonna do, just sit here and do stuff for myself and appreciate myself. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta
so it ain't no fun.
Everybody.
After a while, and what's the purpose of you being like Michael Jordan on the court, but niggas ain't nobody else on the court.
Right.
Everybody balling on some record level, and you going back and forth. You throwing yourself alley-oops and 360 dunking on niggas, kicking niggas on the.
And you got a whole team.
Yeah, I ain't got to do that. I want to build a team of people that's on that on that level, and that they stick with me. You know what I mean? Because I taught a lot of people. I ain't no shade to nobody. I love to see their growth and everywhere that they going. It's just that I've never had the people that I train and things like that say, let's stick with Diallo and build this shit like
I got
motherfucking, you know what I mean? Imagine everybody who goddamn was, in the studio with me looking up over my shoulder, how you do this, how you did that. If we was all putting together things for the same opportunity, submitting for the same opportunities, using my connection, their connections, everybody that we know that fuck with either one of us, and getting all of that together.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it's really going to take for us to get Richmond. Like people always want to keep talking about, I'm going to be the one, put Richmond on the map. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to be the first one. Like Skills already somewhat put Richmond on the map then. So it's like nobody really wants to respect the level that he had got to, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, but they think, and it's like, it's some dope, it's a lot of people I feel like might have been better lyricists than him, but they didn't take them steps that he took to get to where he got. Right. And they probably ain't even have it in them to go through certain things that he went through, you know what I mean? Yeah. I got, me and Skills, I don't talk to him much. It's been times where, to be honest, I won't fucking with him because, just little misunderstandings and stuff. But I did, track on his first album that, I told him when I helped him do the change, just give me co-production. He didn't give me co-production. I felt a little salty about it. I feel like by me not really fucking with him for 10 years, it hurt the culture of the whole, on the whole. You know what I'm saying? Because if I could have got past that shit and we chopped it up and goddamn it all, we probably would have did something that benefited the culture, the whole city. Because I was the pipeline for real. He's the one with the connection. Right. But I'm the go-to motherfucker that everybody come to. Like, it was all kind of other people making beats, but bro, I know for a fact I have produced over 1,000 Richmond artists. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I know I produced over, bro, I can pull out archives after archives after archives. So many artists that some of them, half of them not alive no more. And they all had a great story to tell. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many still, you know what I mean? They got, a lot of them gave up on it or whatever. They had their years of what they did. Right. We ain't new to this, so we've been in the game for a while. But I could just imagine if we had that pipeline open some kind of way for all of this work to really get through.
So this is exactly why I wanted to do and start with you.
Yeah.
With this show and talk to producers and stuff like that, because being from here, we don't celebrate that enough. We don't celebrate the ones that cleared the path and made way for a lot of you producers out here.
Right.
A lot of you people, like you said, the people you taught.
Yeah.
Start right here. If like you said, if y'all would have stayed and build big, then y'all would have made a legacy, and this would have been memorable shit to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
But people everybody had these struggles and things, and things they were doing and things they would focus on. So I can't say why people make their decisions or why. I know I made some that wasn't the best choices myself. So I'm just looking at it like, John, but just imagine what it could. I ain't gonna say because I don't want to stay in the past, but
right
for a future reference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we can learn from those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine the power. Like when you get something like that, when you got, everybody keeps those connections with each other when they get those opportunities, and they make it more of a collective effort. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so much here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never wanted to be about me. If I did, I wouldn't have been a producer all these years. I could rap too. I could have focused on honing my skills and whatever, but I took it a different way because, for real, I never looked at myself as a rapper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I could have done that. You know what I mean? I let skills discourage me a little bit, cracking on me when I freestyled on the air that time.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah. He was mocking, he was mocking my voice. My voice always been deep like.
Yeah.
It was one man SWAT team. He was mocking my lines or whatever.
You said y'all was on air.
Yeah, we was on U of I. I used to go up there sometimes.
Mike Street was talking about
that. Yeah.
And Reese, matter of fact.
So I was embarrassed about it. So I ain't, it made me not really want to rap. But
go ahead, man.
Yeah, but because everybody else was proficient with that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I won't just gonna be pussyfooting around and everybody else spitting bars, and I'm still trying to get my flow right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just was like, I'm gonna stick to what I'm already doing good. You know what I mean? And make these dope ass beats. And here and there, it just, I think around 2000, I was like, man, I just started making records because I'm like, I've done all these records with people, but they're not saying shit that I want to be touched on. So that's what really made me start rapping and shit too, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because before it was just like, that shit I was saying on the air back then wasn't about shit anyway. I just rap, and I ain't never, no disrespect to battle rappers, but that's not my thing. But I was trying to kind of get in that lane where they was at with it. You know what I mean? That's never been my lane. Like, I grew up on, I'm on more on the message music shit. Like, I grew up on Curtis Mayfield and, you know what I'm saying, just certain artists, like, not rappers, but, Gil Scott-Heron, Last Poets. My dad had me listening to this stuff when I was a little kid. And the jazz records that a lot of the shit I used to sample came out my pop's collection, to be honest. We had a vast collection of different types of jazz and just Afro-section music, you know what I'm saying?
Where did most of your influence in your tracks come from?
Yeah, I would say, early on, my pop's record collection, and my mother liked more pop music and stuff, but she liked stuff like show music, like the Broadway shows and stuff like that. So I developed a taste for that too. And, being that we used to go to New York a lot back when I was younger because my Aunt Bernice was in the show, my great Aunt Bernice. That's actually Prodigy's grandma, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So she was back then, and she's the original H&IC, Bernice Johnson, you know what I'm saying? She had a Bernice Johnson Cultural Arts Center of Queens, so, and she lived in Hempstead, and we used to go to New York, several times a year when we was young, and it was always, and that was something that made me gravitate to. I can't lie and act like New York didn't have a part in
I was gonna ask you that.
Influencing me to fuck with it.
Yeah.
Because that was something that made me early on love hip hop even more. Just going into New York, hearing when the radio station changed from that regular bullshit that they playing. See, when you get close to New York, shit is just turned up. Hip hop on the air. Like, we didn't have hip hop on the air down here other than El Bravador, like talking about. El Bravador, he had the first, and I'm pretty sure outside of New York, this was among the first, if not the first, had to be among the first 5-10 radio stations outside of New York
That was playing
that
hip
was
hop.
playing that had a hip hop format. I'm talking about all hip hop, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This man was playing all hip hop and go-go, and to me that was the same thing back then.
Yeah.
Go-go, that era go-go, and it kind of was, you know what I mean? That was, but it was DC culture.
Right.
The only difference is we won't focus on whether New York and DC. That was all hip hop culture to me.
Yeah.
I looked at it like, I ain't necessarily gonna say debate whether or not it's technically hip hop, but see, in the early days of hip hop, when we used to b-boy, there weren't a lot of hip hop records. We was b-boying to funk and early the records that was out back then.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The freestyle, they call it freestyle, the ones with like Shannon, Lisa Cart Jam. You know what I'm saying? When they started what today is considered hip hop R&B. You know what I'm saying? But back then there wasn't no hip hop. You know what I'm saying? As a genre yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the early hip hop to us, I mean James Brown is early hip hop. Like the people that want to be all technical and they're not hip hop artists, nigga, they won't know hip hop. These was the instrumentals.
Yeah.
How you gonna say it's not hip hop if literally these were the instrumentals for some of the earliest songs? So they are hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not from New York. I don't got a bad by that definition. I've been in this shit just as long as some of the founding fathers of this shit though. You know what I'm saying? But I was an infant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I've been involved with this shit. I've been cutting and scratching and shit, fucking with beats since I was 7, bro. You know what I'm saying? My brother been nice with the bar since he was 7.
Yeah.
6, 7 years old.
So
7, 8 years old, we started making our shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
always been in the mix.
Yeah, and I've been going, and Prodigy, my cousin, I was up there before he was in Mobb Deep.
Yeah, rest in
when
peace,
he,
Prodigy,
before he even knew Havoc. You know what I'm saying? We had a videotape of my brother and him and my brother going back and forth when he 11, my brother 9 years old. I'm like 11. Both of us are like my Pete 6 months older than me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My brother a year and a half younger than me, so he was like 2. You know, my brother's birthday in November, his birthday is November.
Okay.
Yeah, they 2 years apart. You know what I'm saying? I was, you know, I'm in the middle. So, I mean, he used to come down here, spend the summer with us. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Like man, he done got down. Like you wrote about us in the book, you scared us and shit. I wish you would have wrote about the fact that we fuck with the music. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But he know I've been doing this shit as long as him.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? And you know, but you know, he in New York, maybe look, man, you know, he know the shit was serious out here.
Yeah.
You know, made a track with Lil Rock. I took him Line to B House. Took him Line to Be in Danger Mouth had the James St. John's Wood. Shit, Bill McGee used to be there. That same place where me and Rock and them recorded Lentners.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That was the first hit single that we had out here that Mike Street and them put in rotation. You know what I mean? And there was a story behind that where Lil Rock partnered with, I forgot the brother's name, but the brother that funded the joint. And he wound up getting killed or something like that. You know, well he did. He got killed. So we sold out. Like we sold out the units we had, but you know, dude had, you know, did the master or whatever.
Right.
So it was like we never did re-up that junk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was only 500 units. But back then, 500 units in the mid '90s on a local record, that was a big number.
Yeah, that's big.
That shit sold out at every Willis, every was it Plan 9? It sold out at all the local stores. Mr. Music, couldn't find a copy nowhere. We sold that joint was a jam, man, and people was bootlegging, and it was on the 32 Minutes Before Sunset mixtape, which we was dubbing ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the actual single that was in the store, man, I remember I had a job at Willis for a brief period of time when Jay-Z came to town on his Hard Knock Life tour and got mobbed up there. I was working in the store that day. They tried to, I mean, they gonna protect this nigga, man.
What that was on the one on
Southside Plaza.
Oh, Southside Plaza.
Man, they had like 5,000 people outside that store. I think he mentioned he told the store about that shit online somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, we had our shit in the store there. You know what I mean? Big New York used to manage that junk. He was a jazz musician. He got music out now. Christian DeMessa. Big New York they call him. He played a 12-string bass. That bitch was like 2 bass guitars.
Oh yeah, man.
That nigga nasty with that junk. And he was a big fan of mine. He used to always tell me he wanted to do a breakbeat album with me when I was working there. You know what I'm saying? He had some connections and shit. We never got to put it together. Lost contact after I got fired from Willis for losing my check, bro.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I lost my check twice, and the dude, I heard him on the phone with the manager. I mean, not with the owner. The dude, I think his name was Tony, the Italian dude.
Yeah.
He was mad. I heard him call me an idiot on the jump. That fucking idiot. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, he mad. He got to do the stop. You know.
Yeah.
Got to stop payment or whatever. But they took the money out of my check anyway. You know what I mean? But yeah, but that was a brother job, man. I was working.
I bet it was.
I had my shit on the shelf, and I was making mixtapes. The manager let me goddamn do my thing on the side.
Yeah.
Bro, I was making an extra $1,500 a day selling my own shit on the side in there. You know
what's crazy is that I remember applying to Willie's when we was goddamn pushing our CD and shit. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna go get a job in this bitch.
Yeah.
And then try to put it in here and sell it while I'm in here too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Willie's was another critical part in
Willie's embraced the scene. That's why I mentioned them, because even though it was a chain, it was still, they embraced the regional and the local music scene. And they gave niggas jobs, you know what I'm saying?
They gave niggas jobs,
Because Lil Rock
always saw it
first.
Right.
Yeah, he the one to put me on. You know, he told me, I forget the female, the wife of the, they owned it together, husband and wife couple. They was Italian. I can't remember her name right now.
I think Rock ended up at the one on Mechanicsville.
Yeah,
because I remember always going in there and seeing him in there.
Yeah. I used to love Willis, man. I ain't gonna lie. That's one chain business in the music shit that I fuck with. But they wasn't like a super chain. It was like regional, you know what I mean? Like,
they was trying to come up too.
Yeah, but they wasn't like, big, like some big corporate owned a holding of some other company type shit that don't give a fuck about music. You know what I mean? They really they really cared about that stuff, you know what I mean? And they used to have in-store mixtapes. I remember homeboy, the dude Tim, remember Gladys, Tim, you ain't never worked there, but Gladys was like a manager, and then her son Tim, he was a DJ. Okay. But they let him do the in-store mixtapes from during the daytime. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So I ain't never get my. I always wanted to get with him and get him to put one of my james in there, but just being there and being able to point people to your shit.
Yeah.
They was like, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? People come in, we got this and that, and you know what I'm saying, we got this little, joint here.
That shit meant something.
Boy did some tracks on this one right here.
You had your shit in Willie's, Tower Records, and all that shit. That shit meant a lot to you.
That shit meant a lot, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, them stores is important. Like, even still, that's why I fuck with Noah Ohad, man. Because even though, he got most of his clothing brand in there, but he got music in there. He gets, whether big or small, it's a mom and pop music store.
Right.
We got as a music community, we need to be supporting that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have enough of those. I don't really care how you feel on a personal level, if you like a nigga or not, whatever. Like, it's imperative, you know what I mean? Because if you're an artist, this is one of the few places that physical product can be acquired. Right. And you can do it in store, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That people don't understand how powerful that is. To say, I'm performing in the music store, my shit is for sale in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that shit ain't it might not be the club or whatever, but this is where the people are coming to buy music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that was his whole mission on opening that store. It was bigger, and it is bigger than clothing.
Right, exactly.
It's bigger than his music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He opened it up to a lot of artists, and I think we get so concentrated on chasing the fucking bag all the time.
Right.
That we don't understand the bigger picture.
And people don't understand how important it is to stay connected to the street and have an outlet right there. See, everybody worrying about the clubs, everybody worrying about, I gotta make this type of record.
Right.
The art scene is open to your artistry. You know what I'm saying? Broad Street, they had an art walk, they've had that for years. I've been preaching to these artists year after year, man. Y'all need to come out there and do find a business you can set. Like I used to, my man Shaka get the hookup. You remember the phone shop? Yeah. He used to let me use his electricity. I plugged the turntables up right there, Broad and Monroe. And I invite, MCs to come out, and I'm up there cutting up on beats. We playing the records that I produce for niggas. We playing shit, right. Whatever. If you got a record you want to perform, and come on up here and give it to me. I put it on the tables, give you the microphone. You know what I'm saying? And there's a cap. It might not be audience that's sitting in the auditorium, but it's people passing by the whole time.
They're here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people stopping because they like it and whatever, you know. So, and you don't never know who they are. People taking pictures. And I'm telling them, like, yo, this is where you need to be. Y'all worrying about, you know, I mean, the club, don't get me wrong, the club got its place, but everything is not for the club. And especially if you're talking about some conscious lyrics and certain things, you know what I'm saying? It's not really going to resonate with the audience that's there to get drunk and get laid.
Right.
And the people that own that place, they're not really even going to encourage it because they don't, shit to make niggas think, make them not splurge as much money. You know what I'm saying? So that dynamic is not really even sustainable. So that's why, and we need other types of venues too. Yeah. And I'm actually, you know, this is the idea I've been working on for a while, is having a venue that's more, you know what I'm saying, on a holistic vibe. You know what I'm saying? On nightlife too, no alcohol. Maybe have some cannabis infused beverages or whatever, but everything organic, juices, wraps, you know, healthy shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know, not no super health nut shit. It's gonna be good shit. Yeah. But it's just gonna be an alternative for people that just want to get fucked up and drunk. You know what I'm saying? To where you in an unhealthy way. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? Because people like to do shit. A lot of people like to do shit late at night, but they're like, man, that crowd ain't for them. The crowd. You know what I'm saying? But if we had somewhere to go on some organic vibes, on some chill shit, even on after hour tip, I think it could be successful. And I've run the idea by people. A lot of people feel like I'm on to something. It just, you know what I'm saying? I know, even if it's just a little small chill spot, Jane. But it's open about 5 in the morning on the weekends when people party. You know what I'm saying? Place people can come cool out. Maybe they already been somewhere drinking too much. They need to mellow out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And cannabis help you get off that drunkenness too. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, I just feel like that'll be a good thing. And it you know, and then also having it open to like family friendly events. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really something that I've been, even though my children are grown now, I still want to see it through. You know what I'm saying? Creating a venue that's, you know, with the hip hop friendly venue for the whole family though. You know what I'm saying? Where the music aesthetic ain't got to be about the same shit that they talk about for the club. Right. So we can get back to talk, because I don't know if y'all remember, I was doing records with my children when they was young. We did it. They had a project as a Triumphant Youth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I remember that. And I performed at Happily Natural Day, performed in Muhammad's Mosque, a few other, shout out to Islam Rap God for bringing me in Muhammad's Mosque to do my thing. Shout out to Deron Chavis, Happily Natural Day. You know what I'm saying? Those two brothers there, because, you know, even though Islam is known for saying nigga right now, you know what I'm saying? He's been a minister in the nation for a while. And you definitely keeping on some righteous vibes, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you know, Deron, you know, his work speak for itself as far as what he's doing with Food Justice. A lot of people don't know he's a dope MC before that. You know what I'm saying? He was with DUC, with Jeff Session, and, you know, Jamie Austin, all them guys, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? He hold his own with the best on with the bars, you know what I'm saying? Right. But he, you know, his passion is the people. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, I look at people like that as, you know, people I admire as artists too, just because of what you stand for as a person. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people make music and they're just chasing the bag. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really have any principles about what they're talking about, because they're just trying to get to the money. But they don't realize that if you're really giving people some of value or providing a valuable service to people, it's going to be it's going to be worth money just staying the course doing it. You know what I'm saying? But we get caught up in what they dangling in front of us. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks like the path of least resistance. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, for real, like, that's real shit. Least resistance. I can get money doing this, and they ain't gonna play my shit if I do this. Well, how about you don't even worry about getting played there yet? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? See, me, still keep doing you. Yeah, and I've been telling people, like I've been telling my nephew to do, to try to link up with Deron and perform at Happily Natural. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to get him on there this year. But but he cussed a little more than I would like sometimes. but the bars is the substance of what he's saying is definitely relevant for that. And I just feel like when you're talking some good shit, you know, the backing might not come from the club type community, but there's still all types of other types of gatherings that connect more with your value. Definitely. So that's what it's just about, you know, just keeping it organic. Like, you talking about something that's beneficial to your community performing the community-based gathering. You know what I'm saying? Don't focus on the club. The club ain't listening for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now if you pop that pussy, shake that ass, they listening for that.
Yeah, they want to hear that. Yeah.
You know, I mean, you ain't gotta. They not to say that they won't play your shit in the club. You make a record that's just jamming. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And fun. Fun is good too. So I feel like as far as artists that might have a conflict, feel like it's a conflict of interest to do clubs. If you just make records that are fun, and they ain't really got to be about any particular, you know,
drugs
lifestyle
or sex
per
or
se.
whatever,
You know what I mean?
Selling drugs,
you know, but if it's fun and it's jamming, and it make people want to dance, it don't hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know, cause like even though Kendrick been cussing a lot on like they ain't like us and shit like that, but it connect with people because he talking about a difference in lifestyle for real. That's mainly the reason why that song hit the way it is, because he contrasted his values versus this nigga value. And the record is jammed, the beat is jamming, but he ain't say nothing about shake ass, pop pussy, buy a drink, none of that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they'll play it in the club all night, and people will go up to it. They'll still buy drinks, whatever. Yeah. They'll have fun to it, but.
And that's the thing though, because like I said, once again, going back to the reason I wanted to start this, the track.
Yeah.
It's the track.
Yeah.
So the track is the main reason.
Right. That's the
why this nigga at the Super Bowl too.
Yeah, man.
The track. So.
Yeah, the tracks are slamming.
Yeah, the track slamming.
Got the right tempo to make people
right tempo. So let's go. Let's go there then.
I'm gonna go ahead and start off letting y'all hear a little bit of this track I was tweaking right now, which is a new record that I have my compilation. I got a compilation called The Harvest coming out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And this one features Kalonji the Immortal and my nephew New Ski on there. And I know y'all ain't heard Kalonji on that in a minute. You know what I'm saying? But that's I'll bring them out the woodworks.
To get to the rings on the other side of Maya. Stuck in the mire. Sun won't let you escape out this fire. This light, seeing wolves jump through rings of fire to get to the rings on the other side of Maya. Stuck in the mire. Sun won't let you escape out this fire.
It ain't taking it to where you're gonna be like, man, what is this?
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying?
Done switched it up.
Yeah, I mean, I do. You know, I got my fair share of shit, but I get all the way experimental and different. But you know, cause music is vast, man. You know.
Right.
But
it's always changing.
Cause bro, I got a Sudanese artist I'm working with. This dude dope, but he spit mostly Arabic. You know what I mean?
What?
Man, you know,
wow.
You know, he dope though. You know what I mean? Like him and my nephew about to do a jump, you know what I mean? We might record it today. You know what I mean? Just
so tell me what's the all right, I'm an artist. I'm here. I'm like, bruh, I need you to make me a track. Like do a track. What's the first step? What's the first step you take and what's the process after that? To get to this point.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. I think with that one I might have made it on my iPad. Cause I got Logic on my iPad too. But I got this other little sample I chop. Sometimes I use the MPC. It just really depends what's most convenient at the time, get the idea out. But I tend to, like, I use that a lot because it's so portable.
Right.
I could be anywhere with that joint, you know what I mean? Okay. I got my, you know, I still got the MPC there. I got the Insonic at home. I got a lot of this I did with it, but I don't have one that's working right now, so it's not part of my workflow currently.
Right.
But that's something I really want to get back to bringing that in. But that's basically what I try to do with this is get that same type of vibe with better sound quality. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the main limitation we had back in the day was just amount of tracks, amount of space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So I couldn't, you know what I mean? Like a lot of them tracks was bangers and I only had like maybe 12 tracks, if that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have all these layers of sound that I could put in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. These shit that I hear that I want to put in, I have to making choices, limited choices.
Like, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You know, but I feel like in ways it makes you more creative. So I still tend to try to work within, I give myself limitations. You know what I'm saying? Versus just using all the options available. And plus, you know what I'm saying, when you're talking about getting straight to it, you got too many options, it's going to slow down your flow.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You got to stay in your flow, you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
So it's good to have a certain set of tools. So with each device I use, I got a certain workflow with it. You know, with the MPC, this one, I don't have a lot of my kits on there yet. But I use the, you know, I got some drum kits I built on there. And it's basically the same thing I do with the little sampler program I use on there, because it's like a replica of the MPC.
Mm-hmm.
I do my sampling parts in there, and then I put them to Logic.
Okay.
For the most part, you know what I mean? But like I do my sequence and my sampler, then when I play synths or the more, you know, like bright sounding sounds, I put them in here.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, I could change up the arrangement if the arrangement wasn't set the way I wanted it there. You know what I mean? The same thing with the MPC. I dump them from the MPC in here because I do most of my recording on the Mac, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, technically you can record on MPC and all that, but you know, the workflow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an engineer too, so I know I'd rather take advantage of the full capabilities of that workflow too, you know what I mean, than just doing some rinky-dink shit. Like, you know, people do that kind of stuff, but.
So you got your go-to, you definitely got your go-to things when you're making a track.
Yeah.
Like the kick,
like if somebody, it just depends on the ideas. You know, if you told me you want a certain sound, or even if you had a melody or something in mind, you know what I'm saying? If it was something with a melody, I'd find it on the keyboard real quick. If you had a hook, sometimes, you know, I used to, my workflow has always been to give the explanation of what I'm doing, what I'm working on, and then give it to the person, you know what I mean? When it comes to that. You know, I make tracks. A lot of people want to come in and hear tracks, and I don't mind, you know, going through the archives, but I don't make tracks categorically.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I just vibe and make tracks. So it's like, and a lot of times it's just as easy for me to customize something
to make
for
something
you
for them
on the spot than if you want to sit here, you'll be listening you might be listening for an hour. You like, you know, I like this, but I like that. Nah. What kind of song? It just depends on what type of record you're trying to work on.
So you prefer that?
I prefer
from scratch.
Yeah, I prefer to just whip something up from scratch. You know what I mean? Where you tell me what you're trying to hear. You know what I mean? I might can find, you know, I'd find a sample, chop it up, tweak it, or I'm doing something melodically, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or you know what I'm saying? You got a hook, and you spit it for me. You know what I'm saying? And I got to whip up a jank straight like that. You know what I mean? Either way, you sing a hook, spit a hook. Any of that, you know what I mean? Got a verse,
and go from
all
there.
that. It ain't no one way to do it. You know what I mean?
So it's like reverse. It's like somebody rapping, hear the track, and they go from there. But you hear maybe their verse or the hook.
Yeah.
And you actually making the beat, which is like writing a rhyme to the beat.
Yeah.
On your end.
I can do it like that.
That shit crazy.
People leave me voice messages with their shit or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I whip something up. Damn, that was perfect. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
But a lot of times I just need a conversation with the person. You know, like I used to run my studio on Southside, man. People hit me up, man. I'm feeling like this, and when they come in, I done cooked up a couple of jumps, man. That was perfect. And the first jump I played, 9 times out of 10, that's the one they want. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I might cook up 3, 4 of them. You know what I mean? Just in case. You know what I mean? But yeah, I enjoy customizing stuff for people. You know what I mean? And even still, if I give you a track, like the way I work now, I don't really look to finish stuff when I first make it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like if you like something, I would let you take it, and you could take it somewhere else. And if you wanted to just keep it like that, that's fine. But I prefer to let when I work with people and when I produce them, I prefer to let, if they go to another studio record, to let me put my final touches on the production still. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even still, it might be perfect for them like that, but I might hear what they did. You know what I'm saying? I just like to tell the certain parts of the record. You feel me?
I got you.
You know. I mean, sometimes the engineer they working with do a good job with that type of stuff. But little drops or not just drops. You know, it might be another sound that come in somewhere.
This shit is a like a job. Like you got to be fine tuned. Yeah. Because I've seen many engineers. Like work from like you said, and Martinez and over at the spot with Kelly and all them. Like I've seen engineers like work, and that shit is, you got to be strategic You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta
Yeah.
and know what you want to hear, know the sound, all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
So how did you get to that point? How did you get to that part of being an engineer?
Well, I was, producing a lot of people. I always been a DJ, so I would always record the rough versions and stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be just through the mixer, I've always been mixing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Leveling and mixing, that's always been part of my workflow. But my first access to professional studio equipment was really Martinez.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And he actually didn't have a full professional studio set up the first time I went to him either.
Yeah.
He had an 8-track, an 8-track tape recorder, and me and Lil Rock did a song called "The Walls Guitar." That was the first time we had paid to go to the studio somewhere, and that shit was dope. You know what I mean? But I started coming to Martinez, and he let me fuck around. I guess he knew I knew what I was trying to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
He could see that I had an ear. And he kind of just stepped aside and let me do my thing.
So you kind of
just
just sat down and just started fucking with it.
Yeah, I mean, he, originally he did a lot of the stuff, but he knew he could tell I knew what I was looking to do. You know what I mean? And I salute Martinez, man. He's the integral to this scene too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like Martinez, Spade, them two guys. As far as this local scene and the artists that early on had some, these places to go to get a quality sound. I mean, you might have had to bring me with you to Martinez, But now Martinez was cool though, but it depends on what kind of record.
Yeah.
I love Martinez. But you know what I'm saying, as far as just the bop or how you wanted your record.
Right,
a lot of people would come get me. Some people get me the other producers used to get me to come chop up their shit, you know what I mean? To do the breakdowns and shit when the song finished, you know what I mean?
That's because you had the sound, so they already knew.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I need.
So, I don't mind. I ain't never mind doing that. It's all love with me, man. Like, I've got salty sometimes over some business shit not going right and been a little, grumpy or whatever towards certain people. But you know what I'm saying? As far as this shit, man, I love this shit, man. I love it too much to just, you know what I mean? Be like, man, that shit ain't go right. I ain't fucking with this shit no more. I mean, I understand for some people, but see, I ain't never put myself in certain situations other people put themselves in either. Because even though, I ain't never took a deal with nobody. Because, I don't know what it is about people trying to, with these deals or whatever, but it's always seemed like some funny shit. I ain't gonna say gay or whatever. It's always something weird that they're gonna try you on some level of challenge your integrity as a person in some kind of way.
Yeah, there's always some motives behind it.
Even if it's some local motherfucker, it's just something about people feeling like they can sign somebody. It's like they just feel like they want to exert some type of power, like people is their slave or something. So I've never signed no deal with nobody.
And that's what
I work with people on some freelance shit.
Yeah.
I've signed agreements to execute a goddamn, you boy buying this track from me, run off, shit like that. But no, bro, no. Cause
that's what I meant when I was asking, how did you stay? You stayed yourself.
I know my value, bro. People don't see it all the time.
Right
you know what I mean? Even if people don't always see it, I know it. You know what I mean?
Man.
Because for real, like I said, I started doing this shit for my own enjoyment. You know what I'm saying? I'm a type of person that I'm good. Like, I can be by myself for days, you know what I mean? I need some pussy once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I need to laugh with my niggas, you know what I'm saying?
Fact.
But for real, like, I can lock in and just, you know what I'm saying, be in my own world, man. But, I want to bring other people into it and I want to share theirs. I don't want to just be an island, but if I got to be, you know what I'm saying? I can go into them periods of time where I don't fuck with nobody, but it's not the best thing I feel like for anybody. It's more beneficial that I'm here to contribute what I'm here to contribute. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
And I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes. I want to see everybody get there.
Everybody got
I don't mind, and I don't mind, I just want a piece of something too. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like 1% of something is better than 100% of nothing.
Goddamn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
You know what I mean? That's just where I'm at with it, too.
Yeah, so tell, before we get out, say, tell everybody the address or how they can reach you or whatever. If they want to come through, they want to purchase tracks, they want you to lock in with them.
Well, okay. Historical Music Box Studios is where I'm at. We down here at 15 South 5th Street. Actually, the door directly to the studio is 508 East Carriage Street, which is more accessible directly from the street because I'm in the back of a parking lot and it's actually private. You know what I mean? That's not for everybody to pull up in. But you know what I mean? If you're a VIP client, you can park there. You know, but the street is available for everybody. You know what I mean? But
and what is it? What's the address again?
It's 508 East Carriage Street.
Yeah, okay. So the corner of 5th and Carriage.
And Carriage Street. Yeah. Very, very easy to find if you're looking.
If you're looking.
But it's also very easy to pass because it's on the hill.
It's crazy because I put the address in and it said you here and I stopped right beside the door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck did y'all have? But the bar, whatever on the door, kind of throw it off. I'm like,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Low key, though. It's right in the middle of the block.
It's low key.
Only door on this block.
Yeah, only door on the block.
On the left side of the block. You turn 5th and Carriage, the only door
easy
on
way
the
to
left
find
side. So it ain't hard to find. Got bars on the door. But other than that, if you in your car now think about it, you're going to come past here more than likely going about 50 miles an hour. Going down here.
Yeah.
So you got to, it's a conscious thing. The studio's right there. You will pass it if you're not paying attention because that hill, that hill ain't no joke.
Yeah. So I appreciate it, man, and just wanted to, like I said, start this because having a love for music, period.
Yeah.
You know, and we've been around the same music. I've been around the field mans and the Cappuccinos and these organized unions, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Made me
right
who I am, and as far as what I choose to select to listen to and stuff like that. And you and Ramon and Reese, y'all was major people in the stuff I listened to.
Yeah.
Back then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From producing to everything. So I just want to give you your flowers, bro, for real.
I appreciate you.
Like I said, the first episode of the Chop Up, it went nowhere else it was going. Ramon, I'm coming for you though. I'm gonna get with you, Ramon, for real.
Oh man.
We gotta get that going. But yeah, so we out, man. Spain like the country.